Hi, Ritwik. Welcome to New Indian Express. It's wonderful to see you. I was watching the movie, the series, Whistleblower, and okay, you look too bright for me. After coming from the series and seeing you like this, it's too bright right now. Okay, so tell me how did you pick the story? Because it's very different from what you started last.
The story picked me, honestly. I haven't reached a stage where I pick stories anymore. It'll happen soon, hopefully. But as of now, I just know that everything that's coming my way, it's so exciting, it's so different from each other. And the creators who are making these films and shows are the ones who are picking me. And I think I'm very, very fortunate that everybody comes with something so exciting. And the same thing happened with the Whistleblower. The creators came in my way, and then they came up to me and they said that there's this part. We think you can do it. Why don't you read it and let us know if you want to do it? I read it, and my first question was, "What in the world made you all think that I am fit for this part? Like, why did you all think that I should be cast here?" And they were just confident. They just thought that this is something I should really try, and this is something that I should really do. And for the better or worse, I'm just glad that I did it.
I'm glad you did it, because the Bandish Bandit was. It's drastically different. It's like those two men that we see on screen are I don't think they'll ever cross path in their life or something. If they also cross path, I don't think they'll ever say hi to each other. But from the color and
Well, if they are
discipline,
crossing paths and meeting, I don't want to be in that room. Just
that
don't.
will be
I don't know
wonderful,
what
though.
conversations these two will happen.
So that was a more of a disciplined color, uh, and a completely different person from this one. This one is bratish, gray. He has a mind of his own, and he goes against everything. The while the Bandish Bandit guy was always in the favor of rules. So was did you go schizophrenic doing this, or how was it that you put both the characters together in your head? Because it's the same brain.
I think I have traces of schizophrenia in life. So while playing characters, I'm actually a little more sorted. It's not very confusing, but uh, I I had finished shooting Bandish way before Bandish released, and I started shooting for Whistleblower after Bandish released. So I had a lot of time to wash out Radhe from my system and dive into something else. So no, it wasn't a schizophrenic experience for sure, but for the audiences it is, and I'm very excited about it.
Nice. You look like you lost a lot of weight. Like how much did you put down a lot of weight for the and how many kilos?
For Whistleblower,
Yeah.
I did put on. I don't know how many kilos, but I just knew what the silhouette of the character needed to look like, and also there were a few sequences where Dr. Sanket shaves off his head, and that was a longish sequence which is not there in the show right now, and I had to be bare chest. So I knew that Radhe, when he had to take his shirt off, or when he was going through his Shuddhikaran process, and he had to just live in a dhoti, I knew what Radhe had to look like. He had to look like a 21-year-old boy who does not go to the gym, who has enough stamina because he's a singer. So I need to look fit but not built. Whereas for Dr. Sanket, he's an adrenaline junkie, and for the lack of a better word, uh, he is somebody who he might be lazy enough to not hit the gym, but he's strong enough to take stands, and he knows, like, in the city, in the state that he's growing in, that sometimes those taking stands can turn into brawls. So he needed to look like he was fit enough or strong enough to take a stand. So I was sure about the silhouette of the character, but there was no specific body type that we were going for.
So tell me, like, since you have been in theater and you have done acting, and you have your circle of friends is people you hang out with. Also, you be sometimes pick those nuances and all. Was there anyone, because this character is someone, uh, like, I don't know if you will ever meet or someone like that, because he's a character of his own. It's not like he's a bad or a good character, but it's like he's a character of its own. But did you pick uh, from someone, like some nuances from somebody to create this whole thing?
No, But what happened was, I remember reading the script, and while we were prepping for the show, I remember asking Manoj Pillai, our director, is there any direct reference or indirect reference? Do you think there are some characters I should watch in a movie or read a book about? Or are there any other people in your life that you would like me to observe and figure out what Dr. Sanket is like? So, what is my reference? His answer was you. Is it your Dr. Sanket? There is no reference. I've cast you because I want you to be Dr. Sanket. And that made a lot of sense to me later on, because I realized the only thing that we needed to work towards, everything that Dr. Sanket is already on text. The script very, very well described who he was and what he was doing and why he was doing what he was doing. So, no, there was no direct references. We just knew that we had to make this character who's so flawed and borderline unwatchable, make him watchable, make him entertaining, make him engaging, and at the same time make sure that he's dramatic. Because if you see, Dr. Sangeet is very dramatic. There's nothing sober, somber about his life. When he's sad, he wants to make sure that the whole room is sad. When he's upset, he's snapping at everybody. When he's happy, he wants everybody to laugh. So he's very dramatic in life, Dr. Sanket. So we just had to play a very dramatized version of a flawed person, and find a way to make him watchable. That was the only reference we had in our head.
From dramatic, I'll just tell you, like I was watching it just for a reference, like just to grasp like what is this man thinking. And there is this one line in the beginning of the like first episode. He's like किसी का मैथ्स खराब है, साइंस खराब है, और मेरा moral science खराब. I'm like, okay, this guy is so cheesy. Do you have the box of cheesy lines for
Yes.
with yourself, or it's just the director
It
and the
wasn't
script?
me. It was the script. It was the script, and as I said, that it was a conscious effort to make Sanket dramatic. There has to be drama in something as small as taking a walk to write an exam. Show me drama in that. To find the drama in that was very exciting. And for the many a times we just use the word filmy very casually,
Yeah.
but we don't use it on a day-to-day life. We call people filmy who crack lines from films, but what we actually mean is that they're very entertaining and engaging. That's why they're filmy.
Yes.
So we had to make Sanket quite filmy.
Yeah. So are you a filmy boy? Like, I mean, I'm assuming you are, because I'm by seeing the graph like here to there and all. Is there a film that you thrive on?
Is there one film that I thrive on? There's so many films that I thrive on. I'm an absolute movie buff. I love watching movies. It's one of my most favorite things to do. And I've always said this before, and I maintain it now, that I've always been, and I think I'll always be a better audience than an actor. I know that I love watching movies, and so yeah, I guess I'm filmy, but am I dramatic? No, I'm not very dramatic. I don't have extremes of drama being created every time I walk into a room. That does not happen. But I'm filmy. I'm quite filmy.
That's completely fine. Like, I mean, I think we are a billion people who still thrive on that. You are one of them, so completely
Yeah,
acceptable
yeah,
on that. Uh, so tell me,
yeah,
like this 2021, which is going to end, we saw a series of actors coming in. When I say that, for the like, pardon me for the lack of words that I have, there are like a lot of newcomers. When I say newcomers, they're not exactly newcomers, but fresh face who are making it to the posters. Like, it wasn't the case before. We could have seen them in, like,
yeah,
some of the web series which are YouTube web series, but now they are on the poster. There is a poster for them.
yeah,
So how has that
yeah.
transition been, and how do you see it going ahead? Because you, of course, you will think positive, you will look in an optimistic manner. How do you think it's shaping up for you guys?
I don't know if I can speak for everybody. For me, for sure that it's onwards and upwards, and I'm liking the way that my career is taking its path, and I'm very happy about it, and I'm ecstatic, and I'm more than just glad that people are now accepting everyone, everything. As long as you can entertain them, grab their attention, they don't care who you are. And that's a great attitude to have. And right from the audiences to the makers. And I think I'm grateful that everybody's working with this new perspective.
And also, now it also doesn't limit those actors to just acting and being on camera. They have got like they can direct, they are, and people are open to accept them that way as well. Like you can direct, you can produce, you can write the script, and you can act also, you can do everything. So is it challenging, or is it like, or you guys still look forward to having that we 90s kid always grew up with the star, the we always look up to a star, or we always look at a blockbuster star or a mega star or whatever. So do you guys still aspire those titles?
I think the word star, the title star right now, is a little redundant. And what I mean by it is that stars became, actors. I think actors became stars is not just because of what they made the audiences feel, but also the fact that there was so much intrigue about what are these people like, and who are they? ये कहाँ रहते होंगे, क्या कहते होंगे, क्या पहनते होंगे, क्या खाते होंगे? These questions, that's these are the questions that arise in your head, and when you look at a person with all that energy, you feel like, whoa, that's when you get the star vibe. You don't know who this person is. But now in the past 10, 12 years, thanks to social media, I don't think there is any scope for anybody to become a star. Right now, the word star is, I think, linked to most people who are doing just about well in their careers. And we don't have stars anymore. Gone are the days of stars. And I absolutely believe when Shah Rukh Khan says that I'm the last of the stars, because he is the last of the stars. There are no stars anymore. We have fantastic actors who are loved. We have a lot of artists who've been praised, accepted, and celebrated. But there are no stars. Stars ka time gaya. कोई स्टार बन नहीं पाएगा अभी और.
But like a lot of actors say that one of the things that they have to give up while they are a known face, a famous face, is the like they have to give out their independence. Like when I say independence, it's small things like going to your crossroad and just having your pani puri or something like that. Do you guys still do that? Like, I mean, are you like, do you guys still do that even if people are recognizing you and all that?
I personally definitely do. But for people who are extremely popular and who genuinely feel that this is a concern, that they cannot do the day-to-day things that they used to do before, and they can't enjoy the little things in life, I truly believe that that's a lie. You can still enjoy it, and if you can't, and you see that there's a certain possibility that you won't be able to go out because you will get mobbed. A lot of people are very popular, but then that's a part and parcel of your job. No, when you walked into this career, you already knew what you're walking towards, and you're working towards the fact that all eyes need to be on me. Am I being recognized? So why complain? Because that is exactly what you want.
Fab. I really love that because a lot of people say that, hey, it's okay, but no, I mean, I just love the fact that why, if you're walking into something, you know what is coming, going to come your way. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
and we know that you are a great dancer, but uh, we haven't, all the things that you have done has nothing to do take you to the stage. That's one of the things that you started off with. So is there any of those, the colorful rom-coms and the feel good movies, are there on the pipeline or anything coming up for you?
It's almost out of the pipeline. A few more months, and you'll see me in a very colorful Bollywood film.
Oh my goodness, like that's wonderful. That's excellent. And when can we look
Thank
forward
you.
how is 2022 looking forward for you?
Very exciting. 2022 has a couple of releases for me, and also a couple of things that I have already lined up to shoot, and all of them are so different from each other. So it's very exciting. I think with my smile, you already know that I'm quite kicked about
Yes,
2022.
absolutely. And is there any dull moment in your life, or it just looks too perfect for me? For your life, like, is there any dull moment? How do you get over it?
Fortunately, touch wood, no, there hasn't been a dull moment. Even if there tried to be, even if life life tried to throw a dull moment at me, I have made sure I'm busy enough to ignore it. So no, so far in the past 1.5 years, there have been absolutely no dull moments. Even if I try to sit and look for dull moments, I think they run away from me now, because there's too much excitement in my life, and it's a little contagious. So dull moments stay away.
And lockdown kind of was a little stagnant period for a lot of us. Like, I mean, even if working, non-working,
Yeah.
it just got the time to stand still. uh how has your period been during the lockdown? Was it like a lot of people say it's a productive time for them because it helped them get inside their head to figure out things. So how has it been for you?
The lockdown last year and this year uh, was a roller coaster ride for me. It wasn't just one thing. I did find time to do a lot of things that I hadn't found time to do. At the same time, I was going through a tough time myself. But then who wasn't? It was tough for the entire world, and it is just the courage of people who say that, but I used it to make myself a better person, or to sharpen up my skills, and that is the greatness of humanity. Like, no matter how many problems you throw at us, we always find a way to keep ourselves smiling, and we want to keep going. And yeah, so the lockdown has been very similar to what it has been for most people across the world. Definitely, a lot of people have gone through a lot of distress, a lot of losses, and I didn't have to face any of that. So I'm very lucky that I didn't go through that kind of a tough time. Uh, Whereas, having gone through the tough time and everything, I also saw a lot of ups, because my first show released during the first lockdown, and we were glad enough and we were excited enough to be entertaining people and in tough times, and people really lapped it up and liked it. And during the second lockdown, we were shooting the Whistleblower, and we had to take a pause and we had to stop shooting for 1.5 months. At that point, it did feel like, God, it's going to be difficult to finish this show because we're losing out on so much time. And also, we had found a rhythm, and now that rhythm's going to break of making a story that we're trying to make. These thoughts did arise, but by the time we came back on set, we all realized that this break actually worked in the favor of us, and we all found better ways of telling the story.
You just now mentioned that you had a pause so that because of the lockdown. As an actor, does it hinder in your process? Like, I mean, because you are Sanket and then suddenly you are like Ritwik, then suddenly you are Sanket. Like, does it affect, like, does it irritate you? I mean, the pause.
No. Even if for a second my head would say so, I think that would be a very privileged thought, and an extremely, I don't know, that would be a bratish thought to say, ki, yaar, I had caught a rhythm and I was in a mental space, and just because you have paused now, I can't come back to it, because that's not the job. The job is, even if I'm playing three characters on the same day, I need to learn to switch to each one of them. And I have heard so many stories about Mithun Das, so many people who used to shoot 4 movies in a day. Like, 4 घंटे इस film की shoot की, 4 घंटे उस film की shoot की. So how did they switch? How did they do it? You know, it's If you're driven to do what you're doing, then you will get your job right. And if you're lazy enough to find excuses, then you will find a million of them.
That is way too filmy for than what I could have expected. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful that, yeah. I mean, people think that way because there is no place for excuse. Anything can be an excuse.
Yeah,
Anything can be
yeah,
a reason. So that's wonderful, Ritwik.
yeah.
Like, good luck. And to be honest, I had just watched like a couple of episodes because, like, I mean, for the lack of time, I'm going to finish that tonight because
Yeah.
now it's an itch in my head that I have to finish it. So thanks to you. so so yeah, good luck again, and
But
thank you
thank you,
so much.
thank you. Please do watch it. Please do watch it. I'm just really, really happy you're using your time during your holidays to watch this show. I'm just so, so happy that you're doing it. So please finish it, and do let me know what you think. And thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritik.